Hey everybody. So I don't have what feels like a lot of time to kind of work on this, but I wanted to use what 15 minutes I might have every day to keep trying to get into the studio. This was experimental for me. There's lots of layers on here, but I turned the whole thing into a black canvas and then started working on it. Some of it was still wet. And I really like what's here. There's some really cool things going on. But what I need to do is increase the value, lighter lights and darker darks, and pump up some of these colors a little bit. The composition itself feels good, although I think I'm going to get rid of a lot of this. And remember, because I'm working abstractly, that some of this stuff in the background isn't always meant to be background. It's kind of meant to be like a blossom that's more abstracted than some of the others. So I think I'm going to show you some sped up video with perhaps a voiceover over it to about how it got where it's at right now. And then I'm going to do a little bit to it with the small amount of time that I have. Okay. Hey guys, so I started with a black canvas. The top half is still wet, as you will see when we start laying in color. And I'm just using a white grease pencil to kind of lay in general forms and hints of ideas of flowers and color blocked shapes that will become blocks of color at some point. And there is no reason at this time to be precious about anything. All of this will be painted over. Now I am using a pre-mixed very pale purple e-color for my vase, container, whatever it is. And I'm going to continue to use that purple just to put in areas of light, just to kind of play. As you can see there on that left-hand side, the black is still wet for sure. But I'm not going to let it stop me. And I'm just going to keep playing, adding this giant red blossom right up there in that wet black paint. And maybe I shouldn't call them blossoms. They are just sort of little forms, little shapes, areas of color that I enjoy seeing next to each other. There I'm trying to give the hint of petals. This is just an area of yellow that I don't care about making sense of. And yet more yellow, and again, as you can see, that black paint is wet. At the time, it didn't really bother me. I just kept playing through it, seeing what would happen. It really, really messes up that teal there. And you can see how loose I'm being, how sort of, I don't want to say haphazard because I don't feel that it is. I think they're deliberate, as I've said before. All of the marks are deliberate, but I am intentionally making them loose. I think it's important to note the difference between haphazard or not intentional and intentional but purposefully loose. It's a very, very different idea. As I'm looking at this now, I'm seeing this line at the bottom of those blocks of color. I'm not sure how crazy about it I am that it goes kind of straight across. But that's okay, it can be fixed. We'll continue to play until, it gets to be something that I really enjoy, that there aren't areas that give me that feeling in my body that they need to be reconciled. They need to somehow be made different so that I don't have that feeling anymore. I forgot to paint the sides of my painting. There are a couple of spots, but that's okay. Again, can be done later. And I think it's about to finish up, and this is going to be about the end of that first layer. So keep watching, and you can see it get that whole nother second layer. Well, actually, I'm looking at the time, and it's another minute and a half in. So never mind. Just keep watching. I think I'm going to start making marks on it at some point too. Trying to add in more lights right now, but it's kind of futile with that black still being wet and all the other colors still being really wet too. And I don't know why I'm standing that way. I don't know why I'm holding my neck and touching my face and doing all those things. They're probably emotions I wasn't 100% aware of at the time. And I'm just adding in some Hooker's green to give the look of greenery with the flowers. Because while I'm not trying to be 100% representative, I still want to allude to flowers and greenery. Now with the marks, the Caran d'Ache non-water soluble crayons, and I did use a pencil too, an ebony pencil, I know that. Almost 15 seconds left, and that's going to be our first layer. Look at that wet paint up there. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Keep watching to see it all come together in layer 2. So I had an inspiration reference initially, and now I don't think I care about that because we're just going to work with what we have. I want to make sure that these colors come through. Like that red is not red enough for me here. Too much of that black got in the way and blended with it. And really, it was just my lack of patience. I could have waited for it to dry, but as I've said, I've only got so much time here. So sometimes you just got to get in there and do it. All right, I'm going to get started. All right, I'm going to start with that red because it's probably what's irritating me the most. Although I want to dial it back a little bit. So I'm going to use burnt sienna with my cadmium-free medium, red medium, just to give me more of less of a fire engine red and more of like a brick red. It's kind of what I'm going for. And I'm going to maybe leave a little bit of darks and then that other pop of red there. And I kind of like that center on it. This one, we might do a little bit of the reverse with, and I kind of like what's going on there. So it's a good start. Good start, just sort of covering up a lot of how it got a bit toned down with the black that was here. So if you've been watching my videos for a while, you know that one of the reasons, the main reason I love to paint flowers in containers is they have a very emotional kind of quality to me that I enjoy. And if you think about it, like why do flowers, why are they given to people? Typically they're gifts, right? Or you're keeping them in your home as a centerpiece for something that might be a special occasion, whatever. They tend to have some kind of meaning to them though. And the flowers that are in these vases, in these containers, their lives are pretty finite, right? I mean, they're not going to last very long. And I'm sort of interested in exploring kind of an intersection between what they mean, why they are things in the first place, and that reality that they are inevitably going to go from beautiful blossoms that, maybe are given to someone or sent for condolences or congratulations or romantic ideas. And then inevitably they're going to die, right? The colors will fade. All the green will turn to brown. And I'm interested in exploring that idea and what it means to me. What kind of emotions do those ideas bring up in me? It's kind of what I'm really interested in. So I'm not looking to accurately represent flower-like things. I'm looking to abstractly represent them in a way that has emotional things going on, emotional feelings. Let's do this. That purple is too purple. And the way that I work, I tend to, you know, like I've used a reference initially to sketch this out, as you saw. And then, you know, I threw the paint on, I used some inspiration there as well. And then coming back to this layer, I've decided I don't need that inspirational type stuff. What I need is to react to what's already here now. The point of this layer for me is reacting to what's here and seeing what I like and what I don't like and making sense of all of that in a way that feels true to my emotional response. There's so much that I really do like, though, that it's making me a little nervous. It's making me nervous to put too much on. I'm sort of afraid what's going to happen. Maybe I'll lose something that I really, really like. And that's a bit silly because it can be wiped off. Like if I didn't like that right now, I'm not 100% sure if I could get a paper towel. I'd spray this down and wipe it right off. It would come off. But it could also be a pain in the neck and leave marks where I don't want there to be marks. And yeah. I really enjoyed the black ground and what happens to the colors and how that black is allowed to keep coming through in spots. Like I really like that. That excites me quite a bit. Makes me pretty happy, actually. Way, way too much. That's okay. I want to, that part there was irritating me for sure. So the way I'm going to respond to that is by filling that color in a little differently. And I want that lighter, well, that color anyway, that yellow lighter for other areas, like up in here. I'm just going to let something happen. And, you know, maybe right in here, just a touch of that. And I'm going to go back to this that's been muted down and is more olivey. Add some of that in here. I'm going to continue to let some variations come in. I'm using red actually to take that yellow down. It's a green gold too, so there's some green in it. This is going to be a completely different color and I don't know how I feel about that. Let's try something else. This might be more, yeah, I'm okay with that. These colors do need to come out a little bit. I'm going to leave this less saturated, darker yellow. Well, no, it's not less saturated, but it's definitely darker. I'll leave that there a little bit in spots too. Okay. And I think I want to bring something into here, maybe. Something sort of small. Oh, you know what? I hate it. I actually hate it. It's too close to that other same color in the composition. So like, see ya. See you, bye. Okay. I know there's got to be somewhere else I can slap this though. I mean, I guess we can put it up here. Yeah, I mean, there are different enough shades of yellow, whether you can tell or not. I know sometimes it's hard to see. There are different enough shades of yellow though. Cool, okay. I want a really, really, really light pink to change this over here. Let's see if I can make that happen. Lighter than that. I want to fix this flower here too, add some more to that at some point. I can't explain to you why I like this so much. I mean, obviously it's got that color block thing that I really like. I think I really like the colors a lot too. That black background really helps, although I did another one the same day, like right after this one with that same black background, different composition, a different color scheme. I don't think it's bad necessarily. I'm sure I'll make a video of it for you, but I was getting frustrated while I was painting it for whatever reason. Like maybe my body was just done. I don't know. And it didn't come out the way that I wanted it to. And I think that's a message for me. Maybe it's not such a bad thing sometimes that I only have a limited amount of time to work on these things, because then I don't have time to get frustrated with it. I like to work on different pieces simultaneously. And that's going to need something there too. Oh, I really like this. Is it funny that I like it? I don't know. Maybe you don't, and I'm completely here to validate those feelings for you. To each their own. We should all have an opportunity to love what we love. Something about this piece is bringing me a lot of joy. I really can't keep going for too much longer, you guys. I'm sad, but I have to make dinner, and then I have a wake to go to for a very elderly family member that recently passed away. And so I got to do that, but I got to make sure dinner's ready first, because that's what I do. And it's a choice I make. I'm not complaining. I'm happy to make those choices. And if I wasn't, I wouldn't do it. Just want to bring my greens in a little bit more obviously. And I kind of just want that to do that. I might change my mind on that. Yeah, I'm going to have to. Let's just do it now while we're here. Just see you later to that guy. It goes down too far. Just a couple of hints of Hooker's green. I kind of like that. There's some raw mark making going on in there too, which I really like. Let's see what I can do with this one here. I don't want it insanely light like the other one. Kind of like that it's a bit taupey, but no, it's going to be brightened up, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. And that taupiness to it will still be around the edges and hints of it. All right, I'm really enjoying this. I'm going to leave this layer the way that it is for right now. Popping up those colors and adding, a lot more value, it's definitely helped. This is going to get, I don't know, I'm not 100% sure. It's probably going to get some different variation of color in it though. Yeah, I'm enjoying that. Let me know what you think. Go into the comments, let me know what you think about this painting or about anything really. I'd be interested to hear all of your comments and questions or anything at all that you want to say. I have some things that I've got to get done. So until next time, I'll see you.